lesson 1 involves this piece with a romance style arpeggio sequence. So what I mean by an arpeggio sequence, if we take any chord, it doesn't matter what one, obviously we can strum the chord and play the notes all at the same time, or we can play them individually. And that is our arpeggio sequence. So this particular piece revolves around using arpeggios of the open strings of the B and high E. We're just going to use our index and middle finger to pluck these two strings. And then we're going to be playing a melody with our thumb on the D string to begin with. So the sequence, the right hand pattern will look like this. So now let's walk through this piece step by step. So first let's just start with the bassline melody, and then we'll add the arpeggio with the I and the M fingers afterwards. So starting on the D string on the 5th fret, we then move to the 2nd fret, again on the D string, 3rd fret, then we'll do an open D, back to the 2nd fret, then we'll move to the 3rd fret on the A string, then open on the A string, 2nd fret on the D string, and again open on the A string, back to 2nd fret on the D string. So I'll play that slowly for you. One more time, a bit quicker. Now, one thing you'll notice is that I'm actually adding a bit of vibrato to this. With electric guitarists, usually what they will do is they'll hold a note and they'll kind of move their finger up and down in this direction. So they will go, or at least I think so, that is just from my observation. However, you'll notice when I do a vibrato, I move my finger along the string in that it's in this direction. Let me show you. And this is just used to add dynamic to the piece and add more emotion. So now that we have the bass line, let's add the arpeggio. We're going to go. So that's the entire first part. Let me just play it for you slightly quicker. And now for the third part, there's just a slight variation. Let me show you. So again, we're starting on the 5th fret on the D string. We'll go to the 2nd fret, 3rd fret, back up to the 5th fret, then all the way up to the 9th fret, and then we'll end on the 7th fret. Let's add in the arpeggios. So after this third part, we have the 4th and final part, which is actually just a repeat of the first part we played. However, we end on this A sus2 chord. So for this, I use on my left hand, I use my middle and ring fingers, and I'm placing my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D, and then my ring finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. So the 4th part will sound like this. So I'll play the whole thing for you slowly. so now I just want to give you some exercises which will hopefully build this skill with your right hand for the arpeggio sequences. So I just usually use a metronome to start off slow and then build the speed up gradually. For a metronome, I actually just use a website, and I'll put the link in the downloadable PDF which accompanies this course. So let's have a go at this now. And I'll just be plucking the open strings. And now I just want you to use the same fingers but in just a slightly different order. Let me show you. And then I want you to alternate between these two. As time goes by, you practice this more and more and speed up the metronome, you'll be able to get to quicker tempos. Let me show you. This is 100 beats per minute. So now let's experiment with this, because I want you to find your own style. Now you'll see that when I played this, I hung on to different notes slightly longer. For example, I didn't go. It wasn't all uniform. There were some notes that I accentuated. For example, I'd sometimes hold on to the first note, and then I'd accentuate the open A string. This for me just kind of emphasizes different notes and gives different dynamics to the piece. And what I want you to do is actually do the same. So just try holding different notes longer, accentuating different notes, use the vibrato technique that we spoke about before, and try playing and finding something that really suits you and you like to listen to. Another technique I want to share with you is where you strike the string. So listen to the differences in sound here. If I pluck the strings just above the sound hole, it will sound like this. Plucking the open strings. And now I'm just going to move my hand towards the bridge. And now listen to this. So that's a much stronger sound, and again you can shade the notes in different ways. You can go, which sounds soft, or you can go, which sounds a bit more harsh, and again can be used to add emphasis to the piece. Finally, what I want you to do is just try coming up with your own bassline melodies. So, we have... Again, try playing around with just different notes, and really any, if you know some scales, try some scales. If you don't, just find something which you like. And I mean, you don't have to stay with the D string, you can try different strings. Let's just try anything now. So let's see if that works with an arpeggio. So again, just experiment, try different things, try different melodies, find something you like to hear, try different notes anywhere along the fretboard, and try mixing them with these kind of open strings, picking with your index and your middle finger.